Hey guys, Doug B here. This week I thought I would dig into the mailbox and take a look at some of the comments and questions that you guys have left this channel since I started it back in June of 2021. Let's dig in. Ray Duxbury asks, how can I connect my FX3 to my RC505 MK2, then into the guitar amp? Thanks for the video. I'm guessing that you're talking about the Boss RC505 MK2 loop station tabletop looper. So I guess an answer depends on how you want to use it. Of course, you could always just plug into the looper and then take the output from that and plug it into the FX3, then plug that into your amp. Probably the best way though is you could doing the reverse. Plug into the FX3 and then feed the output into the looper and then plug that into your amp. Page 31 in the user manual shows you how to insert outboard gear into a preset. Let me know if that helps. Vorphalic Dave asks, would you be kind enough to tell me how to connect my Angle E570 preamp to the Axe FX3? I'm trying to use both at the same time and also only the Axe 3 for night practice without having to unplug my preamp. Thank you in advance. Dave, I'm guessing that you want to use the Angle as the front end and then use the FX3 for effects. For that, you'd use your FX loop. Page 29 in the FX3 user manual gives you a step-by-step explanation for setting this up. So you would create or modify presets not having an amp or cab block. Then at night you could plug straight into the FX3 and just use headphones. Hope that helps. Scudmunch commented about my Big Al's rig video. Good stuff, Doug. Let me know if you'd like to see one of my presets using both electric and acoustic paths. I sure would. Mine was just a very rudimentary setup that just shows that you could use electric and acoustic, at the same time. I would really love to see something that's more detailed and probably sounds a lot better than the one that I put together. So yeah, I'll definitely take you up on that offer. Nathan Palma asks this about Austin Buddy's 1400 plus Naked Amps tone pack. Hey, how much space does this tone pack take up on the Axe FX3? It takes up 2 full banks and parts of a third. But right now, only the first bank has been updated past firmware 15. MT asked, to power the FC6 from the Fractal FM3, you really need to use a Fastlink XLR cable, or a normal XLR microphone cable will also work? Thank you. Now you can use a normal XLR, but get the best one that you can afford, and get one only as long as you need. Sometimes the FC controllers can act up, and 9 times out of 10 it's because of a janky mic cable. Hamster Spank asked this about one of the factory presets. Sounds awesome, Doug. What version firmware did this come out in? I think I'm on 17.02 right now. Thanks, man. Well, Fractal updated all of the factory presets to version 16.05. It was a major update. I'll include a link in the description. Hamster Spank also asked, hey Doug, great vid. Can you tell me how you get to that quick build feature? Thank you very much and rock on, brother. Well, you'd open up Axe Edit and click on a blank preset. Right above the top left corner of the grid is a button labeled Quick Build. When you do that, a new panel opens up below the grid and you can just drag and drop from there. It makes preset building so easy. Darren Porter asked this about the spillover feature. Does the reverb and delay spill over when you change presets? Well, yes, but only under certain conditions. Both presets need to use the same reverb and or delay types, and they need to be in the same channel of their respective blocks. In other words, like in order to get the studio reverb to spill over, both presets would need to use the same reverb block, like reverb 1 or reverb 2, but you can't use reverb 1 on one and reverb 2 on the other. Both have to be the same reverb number block, and the same channel within that block. So for example, they could both use the reverb 1 block with studio type in channel A. In this case, there would be spillover from one preset to the other. SM43G asked, maybe a stupid question, but is there a way to still use the 4-cable method into an amp head and cab and still use the Axe FX3 amps and cabs, or just amps on 3 and disable cabs? Can you use your amp head as a power amp to still use the amp processing in the 3 so I can use a real cabinet instead of FR? Thanks. Dude, that one made my head hurt. But I looked at page 28 in the user manual, which says, 4-cable method requires special presets with no amp or cab blocks. Now, I've never tried this, but it looks like if you use that method, amps and cabs are disabled. You would use your amp head and cab. Vili Pitkinen asked, can't find the new reverbs such as Ursa Major. How can I get them to the library? I already updated to 17.01b. Well, I'm assuming that you can't find them in Axe Edit. You would also need to install the most recent version of Axe Edit, which should fix this problem. If not, go into the settings in Axe Edit and click Refresh after new firmware. That should take care of it. BFHPET asked, "Hi, how many effects is there in the Axe FX3? I can't find it something about it. I'm very interested in one, but I want to know many features as possible. I know Kemper has a lot." Okay, I don't know the exact number, but I'm guessing that there's close to 250 different effects, 270 amps, and around 2,200 different cabs in the Axe FX3. Now, there were lots of comments about my video where I took Barry Johns to task about the Kemper. Mike Smithson summed it up like this: "Hey Doug, I do own both the Kemper and the Axe FX3 Mark I. I'm just a guy who plays in his home studio, and it would be an insult to all audio engineers to consider myself an audio engineer. I'm just a player. I can honestly say that up to the 16.x Axe3 firmware and beyond, that Fractal really stepped up the game. It sounds honestly light years ahead of the 15.x firmware and below. When I was playing my Kemper through the Kemper cabinet, I did think that the overall sound of the Kemper sounded and felt more full than the pre-Cygnus Axe3 firmware. The Axe firmware sounded a bit thin in comparison. I would have to pull out the Kemper again and update it to the latest Kemper OS version. That said, the Axe is my go-to rig when I'm practicing at home. Barry's assessment of the Kemper profiles that you purchase is true. I have a ton of profile packs, and out of say a pack of 50, I'd maybe find 5 to be decent. Profiling is easy with the Kemper, but making a good profile is no small feat. It's really easy to make a crappy profile, and a lot of the free profiles that are free from the Kemper site aren't all that great. You really have to find that needle in a haystack or just go with a reputable merchant of profiles. Yes, the effects are not even close with the Kemper and the Axe. Axe is way ahead. The Kemper's effects are pretty primitive. I have to honestly say that I find the Helix's effects to be superior to either the Axe or Kemper. Thanks, and keep publishing. There were also lots of comments about my Brett Schulz video. The prevailing questions and comments about his preset pack was like this one posted by Jumpback. Didn't he just tweak the factory presets and call them his? Well, I know that he said that about one of his presets, but honestly, I'll have to go back and take a look and see if he was talking about a preset in his preset pack, or if it was just, like a preset that he had. What I will do, since I purchased Brett Schulz's preset pack, I will go through each one of his presets and compare them to the factory presets and see if he indeed just copied them or if they are more original, and then I will publish my results. So there you have it, guys. Lots of questions and comments. I wasn't able to hit all of them because we'd be here for a lot longer than that. There was a lot of very, very positive comments. There was a few negative ones, but I'm a big boy. I've got a thick enough skin to handle it. Not a big deal. Anyway, thank you so much for all the positive comments and even the criticism. It helps to make a better channel, and that's what I want, and I'm sure that's what you guys want too. So keep those comments, criticisms, keep them coming on in. Thanks much. All right, now next Wednesday, I'll be looking at a new preset of the week. Now you don't want to miss that, so go ahead and hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. All right, guys, see you next Wednesday. Thanks much.